All right, guys, so let's get it started. Today we're going to talk about fitness standards for EDC, for everyday carry. There's a lot of people that carry. Very, very few of them have any level of fitness or any standard of fitness. So that's something that I'm going to talk about today. So basically with fitness, all right, I'm going to separate this into three components. We have mobility, we have strength, and we have endurance. Those are kind of the very basic form of it. But that's what we're going to talk about today. First of all, mobility, all right? You got to be able to have that joint mobility to get in and out of positions, turn quickly, move quickly, get up quickly, okay? Also, mobility is the ability to do those movements without getting injured. You know, it's great if you can drop really quick in the position, but hey, if you strain your arm, your shoulder, whatever, doing that, that's a big problem. So you got to make sure you're doing that foam rolling, you're taking those joints through the full range of motion when you're training, you're doing mobility work on a regular basis. Hey, go do hot yoga. I do hot yoga at least once a week. It's my recovery workout. It's something that I really recommend doing on a regular basis. So that's something else to check out. And guys, as I'm going through this, if you have any questions, let me know. And if you're in San Diego, you should definitely come to Texas to train, because we don't limit people on magazines and guns. All right. And also important for mobility is being able to conform to cover, right? If you can't get into kneeling position properly and keep your knees in and stay nice and tight, or turn in a weird position to keep yourself behind cover, that's also a big issue, right? So that's something that you want to think about as well, all right? So mobility is key, and that's something, I still, with all my personal training clients, is first thing we work on is mobility. Make sure those joints are moving properly, make sure they're moving through their full range of motion so they don't get injured, okay? Next thing, guys, is strength, right? And people always ask me, is Krav Maga for everybody? Can everyone do it? Yeah, everyone can do it. Doesn't mean they'll actually be able to defend themselves. Why? Because you need to have actual strength, you need to have actual power behind your strikes, you need to have actual movement, generation behind your strike, right? So I talk about this very simply. You got to be able to have the ability to pull, you got to have the ability to push, you got to have the ability to change levels, okay? And you got to have the ability to resist to rotation and to rotate as well, right? So pull, that means push-ups. You got to be able to push yourself up quickly from the ground, push your opponent away, right? Someone that's bigger, you be able to push them away, get that distance so you can get to your gun, get to fighting, whatever you need to do. You got to have the ability to pull, right? You got to be able to maybe pull a loved one in, maybe pull your opponent in to grapple with them a little bit. You got to have the ability to pull, to hold someone in. And obviously that goes for holding your gun, right? The stronger you are, the stronger your grip is, the better you're going to be able to hold that gun, maintain your sight picture, and so on and so forth. All right, and of course, strength is very important for fighting, right? If you can generate force behind those strikes, you're going to create a lot more damage. If you can generate force behind those throws, you're going to be able to throw your opponent harder. All those things come together. You got to be able to put those skills together so you can deal with your opponent. So that strength is definitely a big component in fighting. Why were people so afraid of Mike Tyson? Because he had crazy power behind his strikes. He might not have been as skillful, but the amount of power he generated scared people, right? That's something I stress to everyone, and that's why I personally strength train all the time. And something that helps me also in my day-to-day. I train jiu-jitsu nowadays about 2 to 3 times a week, and one of the things that kind of gives me a little bit of an edge on some people, even if they're a little more skilled than me, is strength. They just can't get me in those positions because I have the resistance to get out of them, all right? And that's important. Sometimes you gotta just tough it out of there. So we talked about that, right? For your grip, for your for many different aspects, your strength is gonna support your skills. And I'm not gonna tell you which way to do it. For me, lifting works. It's not for everybody. I suggest that if you don't have the best posture, if you sit in an office all day, you take it very slowly and very easy to get yourself in that shape. Bravo concealment, always carrying. Um, sorry guys, I have Bravo concealment on, watching the live as well. So always EDCing my Bravo stuff. Let's check it out. We got the Torsion with my AMF defense Glock 19 with my Vortex. But anyway, guys, so that fitness is kind of the key for everything. But of course, strength, and going back to the program I'm talking about, you know, I change my strength training programs all the time, but you know, whatever works for you, right? As long as you're not getting injured, as long as you're getting stronger, you're not losing mobility, those are all good programs to follow. All right, and then the big one is people tend to ignore it because it's hard, because it takes a little bit more mental fortitude as well, which is endurance. Okay, stamina, endurance, whatever you want to call it. Maybe you have a prolonged engagement. You got to be able to stay focused, stay in the fight for a long time. Guess what? That's cardio. Okay, it's going to help you focus. It's going to help you focus through full day courses. If you take courses with me, right? Those courses are long. If you've been to combat pistol, Krav Maga, combat pistol, ground fighting, you know those courses can be rough. They take a bit of fitness, even though they're not like a crazy endurance. It's not a Krav Maga instructor certification, but they do take a bit of training. So endurance is always going to help with that. You need to be able to run. You know, I've seen this nowadays where police, to qualify, they have a rowing, not even a running test. You got to be able to run, guys. You're not going to be on a rower. You're not going to be, you know, on the elliptical. You're going to be on your feet, and you need to be able to run. You need to have that ability to sprint when you need to, and you need that ability to run in the long term if need be, if you're being pursued and you're having to break contact or whatever. So that being said, should you split up your training? You need to do interval training. You need to do shorter intervals. You need to do longer runs. You need to do rucks. Actually, rucks, not for everybody, but definitely longer runs. I'm dealing with some Achilles tendonitis still from my military service, so I can't always run. So I substituted in with rowing. I substituted in with elliptical, with Stairmaster, all those things. You know, and I just ragged on about that, but it's still better than doing nothing. And you got to work that cardiovascular strength. It's going to help you recover faster. It's going to help you deal with long-term fatigue. It's going to help you stay focused. So definitely, guys, do some running if you can. Once again, ease into those programs. Don't just go all out. All right, moving on. And you also need to be able to outrun your opponents. That goes back to that shorter sprint, that shorter workout type push, okay? And of course, having that agility with your running to outmaneuver your opponent, okay? So guys, those are kind of the key aspects of what I call fitness for EDC. Talk about mobility, having the ability to, and that's your base, by the way. Before strength, before endurance, mobility is key, because if you don't have mobility, guess what? You're going to get injured. So first of all, mobility, having the ability to change in and out of positions, conform to your cover, move quickly without tearing a muscle, pulling, whatever. Strength, you got to be able to pull, push, squat, push, drag someone away, right? As well. That's a big thing as well. We didn't talk about that earlier, but you know, in those active shooter situations, hey, guess what? You may not be armed. You may not be in a position to engage. Guess what? You're gonna have to carry people out. Okay, so you're gonna have that strength to drag someone out of the immediate situation, get them out, and get them safe. Also for fighting, guys, the harder you hit, the more effective you'll be. It's just simple as that. It's great if you have technique. I see a lot of that. I see a lot, unfortunately, in Krav Maga schools where they're super focused on technique, but guess what? No one has power behind their punches. Why? Because they don't have a strong emphasis on fitness. So make sure you think about those aspects as well. Your grip as well. The stronger you are, the better you'll be able to shoot. And of course, guys, endurance is kind of your last aspect. You have to have mobility, you have to have the ability to be strong, but you also need endurance. You need to be able to deal with that longer engagement. You need to be able to focus under fatigue. You need to be able to sprint quickly and outmaneuver your enemy. So all those aspects. So once again, just to recap: mobility, strength, endurance, and there are some subcategories in there which I didn't cover. But those, like I said, I wanted to cover kind of the main concept, the main idea. And that's it, guys, for that subject, fitness for EDC. Just kind of as a FYI, kind of what's my current EDC nowadays. Glock 19 in a torsion, Bravo concealment torsion holster. It's been my go-to holster for a long time. It's just very comfortable, well, as comfortable as holsters get. And it's the one clip config, so just quick for me in and out. You know what I do daily, it's constantly in and out of classes. Can't always be wearing my gun, so this is my comfortable holster. And of course I'm running the Vortex Viper red dot. So let me show you guys here. You guys can see the dot, there it is. So that's kind of my EDC nowadays. And I kind of bounce back between this and my Glock 26. It's just similar platform, so easy to use. I did just get the Masada, or Metzada, as it's called in Hebrew, from IWS. I'll be testing that and putting a couple thousand rounds through it to see how I like it or don't like it. So we'll see. It's a little bit big for me. It's definitely not gonna be an EDC gun for me. It's like the size of a Glock 17, but who knows? We'll test it out. Maybe I'll like it so much I'll make the extra effort. And that's it, guys. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, the full schedule is up on the website. Advanced courses, beginner courses, new courses, everything is on there. So check it out. If you can't make it into a course, we're always available for private training. So hit us up in the DMs via email. Guys, thank you for watching. If you have any further questions, shoot me a DM. Have a great night. Thank you.